Hi, this is Alex from Themes, and in this video we'll explore how can we build uh, this Bento Grid but using Gutenberg instead. In my other video I show you how to build this Bento Grid using Elementor. So what we did is we use native Elementor grid um, functionality to get the basic grid, and then we added some custom CSS with HTML block to stretch these first and the last columns. So we'll see if I can recreate exactly the same layout, but this time in native Gutenberg editor instead. So here I created a new page, Bento, and I'll just save it just to make sure that it's empty. And we'll start right now. So first thing, I'll add a group element. And as you can see that we have here a grid. So I'll click this, and next I'll also open this document overview so I can see the structure much better. And let's click manual. So I click manual so I can control number of columns. So we need 4 columns in this example because we want to achieve this layout, and the first column we are going to stretch. So as you remember that in Elementor currently it's not possible with native features, so we had to use some custom CSS. So I discovered actually that in Gutenberg you can achieve this natively, so I'm going to show you right now. So first, in my first column I'll add group element, just a basic group so I can group all the elements together. And I'll in this group I'm gonna copy, just for this example, I'm gonna copy this text here, heading, and paste it here. So this is our first column, right? And here you see we have this drag icon that we can actually drag it and stretch, and that's how simple is this. So we just stretch. So this is something that Elementor unfortunately lacking, so there is no feature, I think, at least I did not found it. I didn't find it. So but here it's that simple. But unfortunately there are also some limitations, and I'll show you later. So first I'll add some basic styling here, maybe some padding to give it some space here, and then let's make it a little bit shorter, and let's add also. So here, by the way, yeah, I noticed that this property column span, unfortunately I could not find the same in Elementor, so maybe I missed something, maybe no, I'm not sure, but maybe they still don't have this feature, but this is really useful that we have it in Gutenberg here. So next I'm gonna add a border radius and add some background colors. So I'll just can copy this one. So I'm not gonna show how to create exactly this layout here with all these elements, with all the details, because it just takes more time. So I'll just show you how to create structure, so you'll get the idea of how to do it easily. So let's try. Add some color here. So now we have this first box, right? So next, what are we gonna do is, I can add this text, but maybe for this example, I'm not gonna do that. What else I can do is add some minimum height. So it was 554, as I remember. And then I'll just copy this group, make a duplicate, right? And the next one, I'll make column span to be, okay, Control Z. The second one, the second group should be, where was that? Yes, here, ComSpan 1. So now we have one cell on it. Then we can duplicate it. So here we have an image, so we can achieve this image very simple. We can add cover black, for example. For this one, we can add cover, just in case if you want to achieve the same. So if we add cover, we'll need to remove the padding from the column here. So let's just remove this padding. And in my cover, I'll just upload, let's see, my image here. Maybe I can just drag and drop it. Okay, let's try. This is my image here. I'll just, oops. I'll just drag and drop it here. Okay, it's much better. So we have an image, and then here we have some text on the image. If we want to achieve that, we can also align the text if we want. I guess here, okay, we can align it to the bottom. And okay, just cancel this, and we can remove this text here. So you get the idea that basically we can achieve the same structure, right? Here I'll just put 554, and then I can add overlay and all of that, and I can also add, if I want, border radius here. So we can get exactly the same structure here. So next I'll just duplicate. Let's duplicate the first column, actually, right? Duplicate the first column, put it right here, and then let's make our ComSpan 1. So now we have this. So we can achieve this layout. By the way, I did not try to achieve exactly this structure, that the text is here and the other is here. I don't know, maybe I can try it as a challenge, but I think it should be possible actually in Gutenberg, I guess. Should be like, let's see, we need block to group it together, and then we can just maybe transform into this, right? To be honest, yes, I'm just experimenting right now. I did not try to make it. So to make this video more interesting, I'll just show you that how you can also experiment. So let's add this 150 here. Let's add this heading here. Let's duplicate 150 and try to add this. Okay, sales growth. And then let's try this option, justify. Yeah, unfortunately, this one is not stretching here. It should stretch. Let's see, maybe I missed something. Content. This one is width. Okay, this is width. How about that? No. So, so let me know in the comments if you know how to do that. But I think with some time you can find out how to do this. Let's see, maybe there is some kind of full width. No, this is just stretching it. Space between. Yeah, it should be something with space between, but this stack group should also stretch, but it's not stretching right now when I observe. Maybe there is a height property. Let's see, minimum height. Let's see, 100. Oh, there it is. So now it's stretching. We just set minimum height to this stack group to be 100%. So it's stretching. And then what else I did here is set to stretch items, right? and yeah, this one here, align middle. Okay, this option is the same in Elementor. You have space between to achieve that, and this is basically the same is here. So it means that we can achieve this layout easily if we want to. Then I'm gonna just duplicate this column again, one more, and then you can apply all these colors if you want this same structure here. So next, let's duplicate it again, and then let's copy this again, and then let's try to paste it right here. Okay, I think it's actually easier just to duplicate it. Here, let's try to duplicate it, and then what you can do here is pretty simple. It's just to stretch it like this. This is really nice. I don't know, maybe in Elementor they have it. We'll try to check it later. So then in my grid, I can also set gap. I think it's block spacing, yes. So let's set it to 40. In Elementor, they call it gap, grid gap, and column gap. Here it calls block spacing. So there you have it, like, right? So it's the same structure that we have here with Elementor, we can actually achieve with Gutenberg. But there is some small disadvantage here. I'll show you. First, I'll save it. So unfortunately, the same, similar with Elementor, there's also some limitation. What I found is that when we set columns on this grid block, we set it to 4 columns, right? Then when we go to tab, we still have 4 columns, but what if we want to break it to have to be a 2 columns, for example? I'm not sure if this is possible, because when I try to click this group, for example, and go into the settings, I have this column span properties, but these are not responsive properties. So when if I choose 2 here, right, and then it stretches right now, but then when I go back to desktop, it also stretches here. So these are not responsive settings. So this is some limitation, and we'll try to fix it with custom CSS, because unfortunately right now there is no native solution. So what we need basically, right, is we need to let's save it and let's go on the front end. So I'll show you example, right? I'll refresh this, and this is the front end, and this is our grid, right? Let's check it and see what is the properties here. So as you can see here, we have this property that applies the grid, right? This is our grid layout, and it's not wrapped in media queries. So it means that it's applying for any width, so it's not responsive. And what we need is basically change these settings, right? For example, we can change it to something like 2 here, and then we have this layout, and we need to apply it on the tablet only. So we'll try to do this right now. So we'll copy this, and here I'm gonna add additional block. We don't need this sidebar right now, and we'll add custom HTML block. And let's try. I'll just simply try to write some style here, style tag, close it, and in between I'll paste my CSS here. And what else we need here is that we need to apply a media query, right? So something similar, like if you check in Elementor, but in Elementor they have it natively. In Gutenberg, unfortunately, there's no native implementation. So we see here there's media query. So we just copy this and then wrap this property into a media query, like so. So what it means, this means basically that at this width, it will apply this property when this width is above this breakpoint, right? Above 700. So mean width is basically means above, right? Just try to keep it in mind. So what we want is that we want, so let's see, here we have multiple options. What we can do is that we can apply below, right? So for example, we want to change it to max width. So now it says that basically below this width, we want to apply this layout. By the way, we don't need gap, I think, or we can actually change it to be maybe 20. And let's try to change it to 2 here. And let's try to save it. I haven't tried it yet, so that's just experimenting. So let's see if it works. So let's just collapse our grid and let's see. Let's go down below 700, right? Actually, we can change it. Probably we will change it. So let's see. Okay, so we have this property applied here, as you can see, but here, as you can see, this our native property is stronger right now, so it's overriding this. So what we need is to make it a little bit stronger, and we can do this. There are multiple ways how to do this. The easiest maybe is to add important. Sometimes important can mess some things, but in this example, we'll try to add it here. Let's see. The other option is just to make this container a little bit stronger, is prefix it with div, maybe here. Let's try actually this instead of important, because honestly, I don't like important. It can, it basically makes this property like super strong. So let's see if we remove important and just put div, right? Yeah, and now I think it works. Yeah, it works. So all you need is just to add div here, and this property now is a little bit stronger than this property. And now we have nice layout. Maybe what I can fix here is that it collapses too late, right? So as you can see, it looks ugly here. So we can change it to, let's change it to 1024 here pixels. So it means that below 1024, because we have max width here, max width, it means below basically. So below 1024, we'll have this grid. Let's see. Yeah, there you have it. So you have, let's open our console, right? As you can see, you have these columns here, and then when it goes below 1024 here, now we have 2 columns. And then what you can do, you can just copy this and repeat it again for mobile, maybe below, let's see, 782, we can apply something like 1 column right here. Let's try it. Let's try it. So below 1024 we have 2 columns. Let's shrink more below 700. And yeah, unfortunately it did not work, because let's see, yeah, what we can do here actually, it's pretty simple. We can actually just change display to be flex, yes, but it's not gonna work because we will have our columns, right? The problem is our columns are they also have some width set here, I think. Not sure, right? So let's try to check it. Or we need something like auto, right? So this one is repeat 1, okay. Let's see. 1 FR, 1 fraction, okay. I already broke something. Okay. Okay, so now this property applies. This means one fraction repeat one fraction. So let's see. It actually, you know, it looks not so bad on mobile if you look at it. But what we need is basically break it even more, right? And let's see. Okay. You know, CSS grid can be a little bit challenging sometimes and confusing. If we use flex, and then let's try to put flex wrap. Oh, that's how we can fix it. This is much easier. So what we do here basically is that we convert our grid into regular flex. So instead of this, we don't need gap also. We can just put here display flex. And the important is that we need to wrap these items, right? So we need to flex wrap, set it to wrap. And then if we save it and go in our front end, let's see. Yeah, now we have fully responsive Bento grid. So we have 4 columns, then we go into 2 columns. This one stretches. You can probably achieve something more interesting if you have more time with CSS, but for me this one looks already good enough. I think it's good layout. And then here, okay, yeah, then here we have another issue again. So probably we need some additional CSS again. So to stretch these columns here, so we probably need something like width 100%, right? So let's try to fix that also. So in our grid, we can select all these children components and then just stretch them. Maybe there is some stretch in here. I don't know, in the native properties. What we need is 100%. But I think that this one applies actually to children, not to this, because when I change it, let's see, yeah, our children's are affected. So we need something like a width 100%. And I'm not sure that this was available here. So what we can do is, let's see, we select this. This is our grid layout, right? So what we can do is copy this property and try to select all the descendant children here, right? And then put here width 100%. Let's see if it works. So as you can see, right, that unfortunately, there is no easy, just like fast way. So you have to do some manual CSS, but in the end, we achieved this nice Bento layout. And we can just continue to tinker here and add all these details to achieve exactly this look here. It's just with some time and dedication, it's possible, I think. And the result will be the same as here. So as you can see that Gutenberg editor has some advantages that we can stretch the column, but to add responsiveness, we have to add all these lines here and compare with Elementor. Elementor doesn't have this stretch column feature. But what we did is in Elementor is only added property to stretch the columns, right? So it was a little bit easier, right, actually, compared to Gutenberg, because we have to add only one single property, and I'll show you this right now. So here we have in Gutenberg we added 1, 2, like 3 properties, and in Elementor, let's see if I can load it. It's loading. We just added one single property to simply stretch the column, right? Like in Gutenberg, we have column span. So let's see here. So this is our grid, right, in Elementor. So the advantage here in Elementor that you have these responsive controls. So in our tablet, we simply choose two. So we don't have to write this custom CSS here, this one, to add two, and also gap, right? So gap we also can set here. If we want, we can put 20 here, right? This is really useful. So, and then on mobile, we just go in one, right? So this is like really simple here in Elementor. But if we select the first container, I could not find a property to span columns. I don't know, maybe they exist somewhere. If you know, let me know in the comments. Because if you have this a cell here, let's see if we add container, right? Let's try to add. How to add it? Let's just drag it here. Okay, so this is our cell. Then I cannot stretch it the same as I can stretch in Gutenberg, right? I have this control here, and here I cannot stretch it, and I also don't have. I have width property, okay, but can I? Okay. So this is actually nice. Okay, I can actually put it like this. So okay, this is really nice actually. So I just discovered it only this time, honestly. That's why sometimes it's so confusing that all these tools, right, like Elementor and Gutenberg, they all have properties with different names. For example, native CSS property is call span, right? And here in Gutenberg we have column span, which makes sense, right? But in Elementor there's no property column span. That's why I just confused. But they have property width, so they name it differently, and you can actually do that, right? Okay, that's really useful. So it means that we don't even need this thing here. We can just remove it. Let's try. Let's try to test it. I'm really excited right now. So let's remove that and let's go in layout and let's add it to 200%. Okay, so unfortunately, yes, as you can see, that it's not that simple. So we added width, it's stretching right now, but now these columns are overlapping. So again, there is a little bit disadvantage here. These are not doing anything. Okay, maybe there's some kind of wrap on the grid. I'm not sure, but it can really get really confusing. So much better, right, from my understanding, much better if they just simply added property call span, that this column will simply stretch, right? So much easier, the same as here. And disadvantage is in Gutenberg that there is no responsive control. So basically that's it. So let me know, guys, if this tutorial was helpful, and if you want to see more videos like this, give this video a like, hit subscribe and follow for more, and let me know also in the comments if you want more tricks like that, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.